Hey all, Heretic here. Today is June 13th, and right now we just had the information drop that patch 29.6 brings back buddies. Definitely not the new mechanic I expected that we would be seeing. It's a return of an old mechanic, but maybe there's some changes. There's certainly a lot of new buddies, and a lot of things have been reworked. So it should be a pretty exciting time. Let's jump into all the different questions we might have. So what is a buddy for those who don't know? Buddies are a special minion that is assigned to each hero. So every hero has their own unique buddies. And the way it works, just like last time buddies were around, each hero will have a buddy button that you can press to get their buddy. The buddy button has an initial cost based on the tavern tier of your buddy, which then goes down by 3 each time you win or tie a combat, or by 2 each time you lose a combat. Your buddy button can be pressed twice per game. Pressing the button resets the cost and slightly increases it. The first time you reset the button, you get a copy of your buddy. The second time, you get 2 copies of that buddy. Finally, since this is the first time we've had buddies in duos, we've temporarily added 10 seconds to all turn timers in duos while you get used to it, because it's a big change. Duos is already complicated enough. Now you have to put buddies into it. I love the way buddies work in this format. My only issue is it's definitely a case of if you win more. Because the more you win those early fights, the faster you get your buddies because they're cheaper. Well, if you're losing, you get your buddies slower, which means you lose more. This is the inherent problem with the buddy meta. You have to play to win or tie, or you fall behind fast. Now we have some new buddies that are coming out, so let's talk about these buddies, the ones we know. We're not going to cover all the old ones. There's a lot of them. This is one for each of the almost 100 heroes. Let's start with Captain Hogger's buddy, Shining Sailor. This tier 5 pirate is a 3/6. After you buy a pirate, gain +1/+1, and add a pirate to the tavern. Well, the problem when you play Hogger is you can't find pirates often. Like, that's what'll kill you if you choose to play Hogger. That'll be the game where there are no pirates in the shop, no matter how many times you roll. Well, with this one, once you have the buddy, every time you buy a buddy, another pirate just appears for you to buy. And since you're Hogger and you get them cheaper, it gets insane. This buddy will definitely make me want to play Hogger again. Next, we have Ing the Iron Hymns buddy, the Solem Serenader. This tier 3 undead is a 4/3. After you use your hero power on a minion, it gains half this minion's attack. Swaps to health next turn. So the more you buff this thing, when you use your hero power on something else, it's gonna give an additional buff, which will be pretty significant the later in the game this gets. This is going to be a very interesting buddy. I'm sure there's already a bunch of ways people are cooking up with to cheese this to get maximum value. I can't wait to see it. Rockmaster Voon's buddy, Akali the Rock Rhino, a tier 4 beast, is a 5/5. At the end of every 2 turns, get a plain copy of the leftmost card in your hands. Well, Voon is every 3 turns. Well, now every 2 turns, you're also going to be generating cards. So definitely some new calculations to go through on how you want to print your triples. Storm's buddy, Varanasi Stormlord's Mount, is a tier 3 dragon, 6/3. At the end of your turn, transform the minion to the left of this into one from a tavern tier higher, up to 7. Think about the shenanigans of that. It's a random evolve. You have no control of it. But if you've got a garbage minion, why not upgrade it every turn? This is going to be just disgusting. Snake Eyes has Boxcars the buddy. This tier 4 mech is a 6/6. At the start of your turn, roll a 6-sided die. Discover a tavern spell of that tier. Imagine that. You get lucky. It rolls 6s. How good you feel. Also, imagine that. You roll 1s the entire game every time. How does that feel? Definitely Snake Eyes is going to be like rolling a paradise. You're just never going to know what you get, but damn, when it comes out decent, you're gonna feel good. Dr. Holiday's got the 9 Frogs. This tier 5 beast is a 9/9. After you buy a minion, get a random tavern spell from that same tier. 9 left. So you only get to do this 9 times. I'm assuming when you triple it, this will reset that counter. That's an assumption. I don't know. Just would make sense if that was it, but maybe not. So it's definitely not gonna make you want to buy all the spells you see. But this can get really disgusting and late in the game if you can wait on it. Since it's a tier 5 buddy, you're not getting it till really late anyways. It's going to be nasty. Tathalon Bloodwatcher has the Reliquary Attendant, a tier 4 elemental, 7/4. Once per turn after you cast our tavern spell, get a new copy of it. Yeah, you heard me. Cast the spell and get another copy of it is disgusting. This thing's a monster. The nameless one has the faceless one, a tier 4 neutral 1/1 battle cry. Get the buddy of your teammate's hero power. You've already got his hero power because you are the nameless one. Now you're also going to get his buddy. This is going to be nasty because, folks, it's a battle cry. Hey, do you want extra copies of his buddy? Do you want to pass him extra copies of his buddies? This, oh no, oh no. You're gonna keep this on your board in some cases and just keep triggering this battle cry and the board will get completely out of control. Joe has Hearthstone the Mighty, a tier 4 neutral, 5/5 at the start of your turn, discover a minion of your tier. 50% chance to pass it. So you're gonna discover it and it might be exactly what you want, but it also might just go to your teammate, which isn't the end of the world because they can pass it back. It's just gold, but pretty cool. Gaul has Hearthstone the Wise, a 5/5 at the start of your turn. Discover a tavern spell of your tier, 50% chance to pass it. I love this also. It's like, oh, tavern spells. Oh, I'm tiering up. Oh, look, I'm passing them. Hell yeah. Madame Goya has Mr. Chu, a tier 4 neutral, 5/6 once per turn after you pass a minion, get a plain copy of it. That is astounding. You just pass a minion, get a copy of it. So for 1 gold, you pass it, and then you just get an extra copy of a minion. Talk about printing triples. This is nasty. Buddies, folks. Buddies do crazy things. Libidinous Floop has the glorious Gloopling, a tier 5 neutral, 5/1 at the start of your turn. Get a plain copy of your teammate's highest tierest minion, except buddies. So you can't snag their buddies. But they have a tier 6. You're sitting at tier 4. Enjoy. Not a bad little buddy. This will be interesting to see since it stays on your board and it just keeps going. It's a start of turn effect, so we can't cheese it. Thank you, Blizzard. But it's still going to do some funny things. Now, we've also got some buddies that have been changed from their previous format. It's been so long since we saw them. This might as well be new buddies as far as I'm concerned. So let's just count them all as essentially complete new. Don't worry about what their old stuff was because it was so long ago. I don't remember most of it. But Overlord Sourfang has Dranash Sourfang, 2/2 neutral. After you buy a minion, gain its stats. It's neutral, luckily. But every time you buy a minion, it's just gonna get those stats. Have you buffed the shop at all? Are you buying just big nasty minions for the hell of it? Well, Dranash is enjoying them. Agnaros the Firelord has Lucifron, tier 5, 6/5. Your end of turn effects trigger an extra time. Now, Kripparrian Chanter is your triggers are twice per turn. Now it's an extra time, so these effects will have some stacking. So we're gonna get some synergy where you can have both of these on your board. Of course, if you have 2 neutrals on your board, it's not really great, but if they're giving you enough value from those end of turn effects, it could be disgusting again. Rana Starseeker has Sklib, Demon Hunter, tier 3, neutral, 4/4. After you buy a card, your next refresh costs 0. Buy a minion, or not even a minion, just any card, because it's a card. So buy a spell, refresh for free, buy something new, refresh for free. Love it. Alex Straza has Valastraza, a tier 3 dragon, 4/4 battle cry, and start of combat, give your other minions +2/+2. Big change from the previous format of that. I like this one a lot more, actually. It doesn't just buff dragons, it buffs everything. This is kind of nasty. Start of combat and battle cry. Big value out of Valastraza. We'll be seeing a lot of these hanging around. Zephyrus has Firez. This neutral is a 3/3 battle cry. Discover a plain copy of a different minion that you have exactly one of. Now, this is interesting. Now, the text in the dev comments is this is primarily a text update for clarity, but there's also been a small functional update. Perez does not count itself or Ziliax modules, but it does now count golden minions. The reason why this is cool, if you haven't played in the original format, is if you ever have a card and you see another one of them in the shop, you play this and you have a triple. And it's a battle cry, so you can trigger this thing multiple times, a lot of different ways right now. So definitely some big value in this card. We'll be seeing a lot of this sticking around. AFK has Snack Vendor, a tier 3 neutral, 5/4. At the end of your turns, give your tier 3 minions +1/+2. Never really liked this back in the day in its old form. Don't really love it now. We're stuck with it. Deathpeaker Blackthorn has Death's Head Sage, a tier 5 undead Quillbore, 3/6. After you get a blood gem, get an extra one. Anytime you get a blood gem, this is going to give you extra. Not too bad. Definitely good minion. It'd be interesting to see how it plays out. I like that they added undead to it because it used to just be a Quillbore. Let's see. Queen Azshara has the Imperial Defender, a tier 4 Naga. 2/4, whenever you cast a spellcraft spell on a different friendly minion, you also cast it on this. So you have a bunch of spellcraft, you're casting them all on another minion. This thing is eating up those abilities also. It's a pretty nasty minion. Sire Denathrius has the Shady Aristocrat, tier 3, neutral, 3/3. When you sell this, discover a quest. Complete it to get an 8 gold coin pouch. This is a great change to this. This used to be a battle cry way back in the day. Love this. We should not be able to trigger this thing a billion times. I like that it's just when you sell it, you get it. Terran Gorefiend has the tier 5, 5/5 undead shadowy construct. Death Rattle, give this minion's maximum stats to another friendly minion. Not insane. Nice way to throw in a lot of attack around the board and just have a good time with that. Neat card. Queen Wagtoggle has Elder Tagwag, a tier 4 neutral, 4/4 start of combat. If you control 4 minions with different types, gain your minions health, attack, and health. Okay, not bad. It's start of combat. It's not going to be permanent because it's a neutral minion, but it's going to gain a lot of stats. If your board's scaling a lot, definitely some value from this. Shudderwalk has a Muckslinger, a tier 5 neutral, 5/5 battle cry. Get a random battle cry minion. Not bad, not exciting, but not bad. And the issue with it is, I mean, you have to keep using your hero power on it. There's already minions that can trigger battle cries. The big issue is it's this random battle cry minion. There's a lot of them, right? You could get trash all the time. You also could get amazing things. I definitely like this though. It has lots of potential, and if you golden it, it's definitely worth hero powering a lot. Just print money, play a menagerie board with this thing, have fun. Yogg-Saron, Hope's End, the Acolyte of Yogg-Saron is a tier 4 Murloc. There's a lot with this one, so buckle up. First, it's a 5/4, and at the start of every turn, spin the Wheel of Yogg-Saron. Some of the Wheel of Yogg-Saron results were updated. Right now, Mind Flayer Goggle casts 4 random tavern spells, which I adore. I'm gonna look up and see if I can find what I did, what it used to be, and post that here. Rod of Roasting casts Pyro Buff randomly, gives minions 10/10 until one hits your bartender or your hero. That is huge, folks. This is fun randomness. It will just buff the shop and your minions till it hits you with a bartender. Definitely up for this. This is fun. And then Curse of Flesh, 2 friendly minion gain the stats of 2 other friendly minions. That is an interesting combination potential too. It's random, so there's nothing you can do about it, but it's a permanent increase of stats, which isn't bad at all. This is going to be fun. I think Yogg is going to see a big resurgence with this. I mean, I already loved him with this buddy, but it's start of every turn. That's just a cool effect. I like it. Dancing Daryl has Asher the Haberdasher, tier 4 neutral, 2/2. After you sell a minion, gain +1/+1 hat that passes to a friendly minion once sold. Not bad. It puts extra hats on something, it sounds like. I'm not excited about this from what I'm looking. Obviously, if you're doing a heavy cycle board, if you're playing elementals, murlocs, pirates, and you can cycle like crazy, you're going to get a big value from it, but that's always been the case with Daryl. So I don't know how excited I am about it, but I'll play some games and try it. Ysera has Valatheria, Dreamwalker, tier 4 dragon, 6/4. Whenever a dragon enters your warband or the tavern, gain +1/+1. So whenever you roll and a dragon appears in the shop, you gain 1/1 on this minion. Whenever you get a dragon just by generating one, this gets 1/1. Nasty. Well, you have to play it after you generate it, but still, this could stick around for a while. Previously, this minion was garbage way back in the day, so I like this. Malygos has the Nexus Lord, a tier 4 neutral, 6/6 arcane alteration, replaces with a card from 1 tier higher. Now, right now, Malygos' hero power gives you a random minion from your current tavern tier, but now you're going to make, let's say you're at tier 4, a 5. You do it again, now it'll make a 6. Lord Barov's Apprentice is a tier 4 neutral, 5/4. After you play a coin, gain 1 gold. Dev comment, this has been updated to include tavern coins. While you're generating coins with Barov, you're seeing them in the shop, you're cycling them, and you're getting freebies. Love this. Rakinishu has the Lantern Tender. This tier 4 5/5 neutral is 5/3. At the end of your turn, get 2 lantern lights that give a minion stats equal to your tier. I like that. 2 targeted buffs you get to control. It's an end of turn effect. It'll work with Jakari Enchanter. It's not an insane buff, but it does add up. You probably still want to cut this at the end of the game unless you're running a heavy end of turn effect build, but still has some neat potential. Ticketus has the Ticket Collector. This tier 5 6/6 neutral is when you sell this, discover a Dark Moon prize from the next tavern tier. This is just a wording update for clarity, no functional changes. Basically, if you're sitting at turn 7, you'd be eligible for the turn 4 ones. You'd sell it, you'd get the turn 8 ones. That's all. It's interesting. Vol'jin has Master Gardener, a tier 5 neutral. 6/5 minions targeted by Spirit Swap also gain each other's health. Yeah, not just moving attack. Now you're moving the health also. Lich Bazil has the Unearthed Underling, tier 3, 3/3 undead. Whenever your hero takes damage, rewind it and gain stats equal to that amount. Yep, you're not going to take damage anymore. You're just going to rewind it. You don't need a rewinder, and this thing is going to gain stats. Oh, disgusting. Deathwing has Sinestra, tier 4 dragon, 2/6. Whenever a friendly minion gains attack during combat, give it +1 health permanently. Dragon players, are we excited? Because there's going to be some health flying around. Oh yeah. Greybow has the Wandering Treant, a tier 4 neutral, 2/5. Whenever a friendly top minion is attacked, give your minions +1 attack permanently. This is just the tier 5 minion we're currently looking at, except now whenever something gets attacked, it buffs instead of just itself. Love it. But wait, there's more. In addition to all buddy updates, we're also making updates to existing heroes and minions across both modes. We have a hero pool update. ETC Band Manager has been returned to the pool. The Curator is banned in demon lobbies now. The dev comment is, this changes because minions summoned by Cultists of Thara will now summon with Venomous if they had it before they died, making it easily abusable with the Curator. Big change there. Remember that, folks. It's going to summon minions with Venomous. Hero update. Alexstrasza, Queen of Dragons. Passive at the start of your turn, discover a dragon. Unlocks at tier 4. This is a massive change from Alexstrasza works now and sounds infinitely more interesting than before. I definitely like this as a start of turn effect, so it's not insane. This would be cool to see how it works. Phaethalon Bloodwatcher Reliquary Research is passive. Every 4th spell you buy now costs 0. Okay, that's significantly better than it was before. Rakinishu Tavern Lighting, 1 gold gets a Lavern Light. That gives a minion stats equal to your tier, so it's a tavern spell, which has all a bunch of things that will already trigger with, so amazing. Minion pool update, folks. There's a lot of them. The following minions will be removed from the pool. Augmented Laborer, Bazaar Dealer, Dead Stomper, Faceless Disciple, Gem Smuggler, Gold Shell Warren, Heedless Hoarder, Long John Copper, Reef Explorer. No! Oh, I love Reef Explorer. Time Captain Hooktail, Vengeful Slitherer, and Winged Chimera are gone. The following minions will be returning to the pool. Poetic Pen Pal, Imposing Percussionist, and Silent Swimmer are all back. Interesting stuff. We'll see how these play out. Now we've got some new minions. The Baron's Brawler is a tier 3 neutral 2/6 battle cry. Get a random death rattle minion. Ooh, I like that. Battle cry. It's a nice low tier for cycling. Kind of replaces Reef Riffer a little bit. Like, I'm excited. Next, we have the Baron's Conjurer, a tier 5 neutral 6/2 death rattle. Get a random battle cry minion. A death rattle that gives a battle cry minion. So if you have Bran and Titus on the board to get maximum value, you're kind of hurting yourself with too many neutrals. But you also have this on the board too. Yeah, don't milk this too hard, folks. You will lose and die. The Arid Atrocity, tier 6 all, 7/7 death rattle, summon a 7/7 golem, and give it a +7/7 for each friendly minion that died this combat. And it's an all, so it's in every game. There are going to be so many disgusting combinations with this. Mechs, undead, beasts can do silly stuff with it. Ooh, this is going to be fun. Next, we have the Primate, a tier 4 beast pirate. 2/8. After a friendly death rattle minion dies, gain 1 gold till next turn. Interesting stuff there. I don't know if I love this at tier 4, but depending how many death rattles you can get going, you can print some gold. We'll see. Now we have the Ghoul Akabara, tier 6 undead beast, 2/11. Whenever you trigger a death rattle, give your minions +2/+2 permanently. Okay, we're definitely having a love affair with death rattles, it seems like, in the last few cards. This would be very interesting. And it says your minion, so it buffs itself too. Oh. Lock Prince, a tier 4 Murloc, is 2/2 whenever this gains stats. Add +2 to that amount, whatever this is. So if you buff it for 2020, it gains 22/22. Gain it for 1/1, it gets a 3/3. Not bad. Great with blood gems. Fairy Guildmother is a tier 4 Murloc, 1/5. At the end of your turn, get a random Murloc. And it's an end of turn effect, so Drakari Enchanter, hello. Ooh, this will be nasty. So basically, this is kind of Primal Fin. You can't cheese it as much immediately because you at least have to wait for an end of turn effect. Even if you have a Drakari, it's not like if you have a Bran and a Primal Fin before, you just slam it and go. So I like this. This will be interesting. Crow's Nest Sentry is a tier 3 pirate, 5/2 Battlecry. Give your other pirates +3 health. Hey, how many times have you died because your pirates all have basically baseline health? I like this. We need this. Clunker Junker is a tier 4 mech, 3/4 Battlecry. Choose a friendly mech. Discover a mech to magnetize to it. What? Oh my. Discover a mech to not a magnetized mech, just a mech. So there's a lot of fun combinations you can get from Clunker Junker. This will be interesting. Okay, I'm game. I want to see this. Free Little Quillbore is a tier 5 Quillbore, 3/3 Death Rattle. Play 3 blood gems on your Quillbore. I mean, it says on your Quillbore, so that must be all of them. It's a 3/3. Depends how much you buffed your blood gems. It's in combat buff, so it's not permanent, but still could be very interesting. Duos players, we got Jumpin' Jack. This is a tier 3 all 3/4. The first time this is sold, pass it instead. You buy it, you keep it for a minute, then you just sell it. It gives you a gold and it passes it for free? Or does it not give you the gold and just pass instead? Does it really? Because it says it's sold. If it's sold, it implies you get a gold coin, but maybe that supersedes the actual final selling action of it. But it seems like you'd get the coin in it. We'll see. Some minion updates now. Some things have been changed. King Bagurgle, the tier 5 Murloc, is now a 6/3 Battlecry. Give your other Murlocs +3/+3. Not a big change, but King Bagurgle needs it now that he's a tier 5. Happy with that. Imposing Percussionist is back. Folks, it's a tier 4 demon. It's a 4/4 Battlecry. Discover a demon. Deal damage to your hero equal to its tier. Demons have needed this. Love that it's back. Can't wait to play. All these are coming in patch 29.6. Here's the thing. They're not giving us the date. We don't know when it is. Is it next week? Is it 2 weeks from now? If they just announced it now, I have to think it's coming out next week. I don't think we're going to see this here tomorrow. But if we're seeing it next week, say like June 18th or something along those lines, could be good. I like some of the changes they've made here. They've definitely stopped not touching a lot of things I thought they would touch, but they're also adding so much new stuff. It's hard to know that if the stuff that was like Trigor that was overperforming is still going to overperform after all these changes. My gut is yes, a lot, but let's wait and play the game. Let's not throw stones just yet. We'll see if it's on fire and then we'll scream fire when it is. But I hope everyone had a good time and enjoyed this. What do you think? Are you excited about these changes? Are these good things in your mind? Are you happy to see Buddies back, or are you just like, I wanted a new mechanic? You know, honestly, I wanted a new mechanic, but I think Buddies back. Buddies were fun. I'm not going to complain about Buddies. What do you think? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching. Hope you had a good time. See you later.